Love in the Rain. Sophie had always loved the rain. She loved how it painted the city in silver and made everything feel new. But she never expected that one rainy evening would change her life forever. It was a cold autumn night, and Sophie was hurrying home after work. She had forgotten her umbrella, and the rain poured down, soaking her coat. Just as she turned a corner, she slipped on the wet pavement. Before she could fall, strong arms caught her. "Are you okay?" a deep voice asked. She looked up and saw a man with dark hair and warm brown eyes. He was holding a black umbrella, shielding them both from the rain. Sophie's heart skipped a beat. "Yes, I think so," she said, feeling her cheeks turn red. The man smiled. "I saw you walking in the rain without an umbrella. Here, take this." He handed her his umbrella. "Oh, I can't take your umbrella. You'll get wet," Sophie protested. He chuckled. "I don't mind the rain." Sophie hesitated, but the man insisted. "At least let me walk you home," he said. They walked together through the rainy streets, talking as if they had known each other for years. His name was Daniel, and he had just moved to the city. He told her about his love for books, travel, and coffee. Sophie found herself laughing and forgetting about the cold. When they reached her apartment, she turned to him. "Thank you for the umbrella and the company." Daniel smiled. "Keep the umbrella. Maybe I can get it back over coffee?" Sophie grinned. "I'd like that." A growing connection. Their coffee date lasted for hours. Sophie learned that Daniel had moved to the city for work, but was also searching for something more, a sense of belonging. Sophie shared her own dreams of becoming a writer and her love for quiet, rainy evenings with a good book. Over the next few months, their relationship blossomed. They spent weekends visiting bookshops, exploring small cafes, and taking long walks in the park. Daniel introduced Sophie to his favorite travel destinations through his stories, and she read him passages from her writing. One evening, as they sat on a bench by the river, Daniel turned to her. "Sophie, do you ever wonder how one small moment can change everything?" She smiled. "Like a rainy night and a forgotten umbrella?" "Exactly," he said, holding her hand. "I wasn't looking for love that night, but somehow I found you." Sophie's heart swelled with warmth. She realized she had found something special, someone who understood her in ways she never imagined. A test of love. But love is never without challenges. Daniel received an opportunity to work abroad for a year. It was his dream job, but it meant leaving Sophie behind. "I don't want to go if it means losing you," he confessed one evening, rain tapping against the window. Sophie took his hand. "Love isn't about distance, Daniel. It's about trust and patience. If this is your dream, I want you to follow it. I'll be here when you come back." The year apart was difficult, but they stayed connected through letters and video calls. Sophie continued her writing, often drawing inspiration from their love story. Daniel explored a new country, but never stopped counting the days until he returned. A rainy proposal. A year later, Daniel came back. On a rainy autumn evening, he took Sophie to the spot where they first met. Holding the same black umbrella, he knelt down and opened a small velvet box. "Sophie, you once told me that love isn't about distance. You were right. Love is about finding someone who makes the world feel like home. Will you marry me?" Tears mixed with raindrops as Sophie nodded. "Yes, Daniel. 1,000 times yes." As the rain poured around them, Sophie knew their love story had come full circle. beginning and ending with a simple act of kindness in the rain. Vocabulary to learn: soaking. When something is completely wet, often because of water. After playing in the rain, my clothes were soaking wet. Pavement. The hard, flat surface of a road, sidewalk, or street where people walk or cars drive. She walked carefully on the pavement to avoid slipping on the ice. Chuckle. A quiet and soft laugh, usually because something is a little funny. He gave a small chuckle when he heard the silly joke. Hesitate. To pause or stop briefly before doing something, often because of uncertainty or fear. She hesitated before answering the difficult question. Inseparable. Two or more things or people that are always together and cannot be separated. The two best friends were inseparable and did everything together. Belonging. The feeling of being accepted, included, and comfortable in a group or place. She felt a strong sense of belonging in her new school because everyone was kind to her. Blossomed. When something grows, develops, or becomes beautiful, like a flower blooming. Over time, their friendship blossomed into a deep connection. Confessed. To admit something, often personal or secret. He finally confessed that he had eaten the last cookie. Velvet, a soft, smooth, and luxurious fabric that feels nice to touch. She wore a beautiful red velvet dress to the party